Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another card video. So I'm starting this card using the Puffy Cloud border from Memory Box. So I have 3 strips of white cardstock and I'm just going to die cut 3 different strips of clouds. This is going to be my background for my card. So I'm just taking a piece of washi tape and I'm going to tape down the die so that it doesn't move while I run it through my Cuttlebug. You can use any die cut machine that you have though. And then I'm going to take the Tumbled Glass Distress ink and my foam blending tool and just ink the edges of the clouds. So I'm working from my mat into the clouds so that the edge is darker than the middle part. You could use a different color distress ink if you wanted, but I just like the light tumbled glass look because it is the lightest blue distress ink that there is. So I'm going to do that to all 3 of the cloud pieces. And then I'm going to go ahead and assemble those onto a light blue card base. It's an A2 size card base, so what I did was I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and cut it in half the long way. And I actually die cut some more clouds because I figured after I did the 3 that I wanted more layers on there. So I'm just laying them out right now to make sure that they look exactly how I want them to on my card. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my ATG gun and just put a little bit of adhesive behind each one. And then I'm going to layer them, so I'll do that for each layer. I'm just going to take some more adhesive and put it onto the back. I just think it creates such a fun dimension on the card using those different clouds. And all the supplies that I'm using on this card will be linked below if you're interested in any of them. So I have 2 pieces left. I'm just going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back and then stick it down into place. And then I can go ahead and get started on the images that I'm going to be adding onto this card. So I'm using this stamp set from W+9 and I'm going to stamp one of the elephants. And I'm using the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And then I'm also going to stamp the balloon that comes in the set. And I'm stamping these on a piece of Coordination's 110-pound cardstock. And then I'm also using the Audrey Blue Simon Says Stamp ink to stamp the party hat. So I'm going to go ahead and color in my images. I'm using the C1 Copic marker to color in the base of the elephant. And then I'll do all my shading from that point on. So next I'm taking the C3 and I'm just going to add that in there. And then also I'm going to add the C5 for a little bit darker shading as well. And then I'm going to go back in with the C1 and just blend all of those colors together. You could use whatever you want to color these images in. If you want colored pencils or watercolors, just whatever you want. I prefer using my Copics since I have them and have invested in them, so that's just what I tend to reach for when I'm coloring images in. So then I'm going to go ahead and color in the balloon, or I'm going to add a little bit of pink to the elephant's ears, and then I'm going to shade that out with the C1 again, just so that it's not so pink. And then I'm going to go ahead and color in the balloon. I'm going to color this in orange because I want that orange and blue contrast. So I'm just coloring this in completely with my base color. And then I'll go in with the next darkest color and just add little bits of shading in there. And I'm just working my way from the edge towards the center, kind of flicking my marker to make that shading really pop. And then I'm going to go back in and blend that out with my first color. And then just add a little bit of darker with that second color again, going over it. So you really can do shading with just 2 colors if you want. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut those out with my scissors. So next I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment on there. So I'm just going to add that onto my clear acrylic block and then ink that up with the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp that in the upper right hand corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some 3D foam squares to the back of the balloon. And I'll go ahead and adhere that down. So the balloon is going to be kind of next to the sentiment. And then I'm also going to add the 3D foam squares to the back of the elephant as well. And I'm using the small foam squares from Best Creation. And I can go ahead and peel the backings off from those. And then I'm just going to place that elephant down so that it looks like the balloon is tied to the string. We're going to add a little bit of adhesive onto the end of that string just so that it doesn't move around, and it's just going to adhere down to the elephant. And then I can go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive onto the back of that party hat. So then I'm going to add some clear Wink of Stella onto the balloon, just so that it really sparkles and shines on that card. I always think that looks best for like balloons or just different images. And I'm also going to add that to the party hat. And then I'm going to go over the entire balloon with some glossy accents. I think it makes it look more realistic, but it also makes the sparkle really shine on your card. And of course you just want to make sure that that glossy accents is completely dried before you obviously send it in the mail. I usually let mine sit overnight or a couple of days. It really doesn't take that long to dry though. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some sequins onto my card. So I'm just going to randomly scatter them about and then glue them down with my multi-matte medium. And then that is my finished card for today. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll check out all of my social media links at the end and subscribe to this channel if you're not already. And I will see you all back here next time. Bye everyone!